It's early on a wet Glasgow morning in September, and at a top secret location, some of the country's biggest names in social media have gathered for a very special mission. Over the next few hours, this group will decide the fate of more than 100 leading companies who are battling it out to be named among the winners of the first Social Buzz Awards. Paul Febretti, Director of Digital Strategy at Origin Creative, is the chairman of the Social Buzz Awards judging panel.
It's interesting because I think it's one of the only events in the UK, certainly, that recognises how online marketing has evolved. And I think there's lots of digital awards, but the reality is that very few recognise very specifically a lot of the innovation that's taking place in social media. Now that's inherently a difficult thing to do anyway because it's such a fast-moving space. So I think it's important that we've got an awful lot of categories which actually reflect the diversity of the web. So I do think it's important that we actually specifically recognise some of the genuinely innovative work that's actually delivering credible results for brands. You're not going to change the lens on a camera just because 153 people say so, but certainly if 153 people have bothered to say, I don't like that anymore, it's got to be part of the...
Yeah. And it's great for everyone involved. It was
fantastic. It felt like they were changing the world a little bit, but...
But also, it wasn't mentioned in the paper, but there's a thing going on here because they had another paper, another category, which was equally impressive.
Yeah.
Is this kind of... I had, my view of them was that, they produce this monthly magazine that, I would have sort of pigeonholed Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're reinventing themselves as a 21st century social business.
So we'll take 4 and 6 out there and then we'll keep the rest in for discussion, okay?
And you put an oomph in there as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I thought their entry for competitions was really...
So this is which is the petition, isn't it?
So the petition.
Yeah.
So I like the concept of the petition.
competition.
I think it's, but the competition I wasn't as keen on.
I mean, the numbers are just like staggering.
Yeah.
The bit that really alerted me was you read the paper and they said something like, we're now using the Twitter account to plug our other clients. And I went on, what the heck?
Do. Yeah.
And it's like, hang on, there's no way those 1 million people followed that
for that reason,
to be spammed with your other clients, which is what they're doing.
I
went from being completely amazed to actually really not liking them very much.
We're not doing very well here, are we? I mean,
Over the course of a day, the judges must not only pick a shortlist from each category, but also determine that the entrants actually meet the criteria to be judged. And for some categories, this isn't an easy thing to quantify.
I mean, we don't have to give an award, do we? If there isn't anything that's...
controversial.
No, I mean, if none of them are actually... best use of innovation, are any of them actually up there?
I think they've done something really new. And, it is very social in terms of the bribing mechanism. They get people to commit to cases while it's...
I'd agree, but I don't...
I think if it
has to be between them,
it's website is a bit misleading.
The thing that I love particularly about social media is there's no single answer to any problem. There isn't a book that you can read, there isn't a manual that you can follow about how to do this stuff and make it work. So I think these events, they represent the cream of the industry at a given point in time. And having that for people to contribute to, but also for people then to look at and think, oh bloody hell, that's what good looks like. It's just fundamentally important to the future of the industry.
Basically a fake person. And I've used a Facebook profile to create this fake person, but it's a proper profile rather than a business type page. So you can't track it and monitor it or use it properly, but at the same time it's more engaging because you have to make friends. So I was stuck between a rock and a hard place whether I like this or not.
The bit for me in this is there are so many good examples of social media use in public sector.
Yeah, there's only one entry.
And to have one entry, I just think it's criminal. It means we've asked the wrong people.
Yeah.
And I can declare, that's where I do a lot of miles of my work. So
right.
it just seems weird. There's a massive community of people that frankly is really pissed off.
Yeah.
If this wins.
If this wins.
Yeah.
That's the one with the virtual girl, isn't it? Yeah. She scared the hell out of me. I really didn't like it at all.
Why don't we just get rid of the one?
While some categories are hotly contested, in others the judges find very quickly that there's one standout winner.
But I mean, it's a community platform, absolutely embedded with the e-commerce platform. Both of them are, one saying, you know, higher conversions. The other one's saying higher average orders from people who engage with the social platform. It is a really strong model if you're in that kind of sector. Get your social. You know, we had that blogger earlier on. That was on Tumblr. This is similar sort of stuff, more sort of multi-layered, but it's actually embedded with the e-commerce platform, and therefore it's translating into commercial stuff. Yeah. They're both very strong.
This is a significant investment in not social commerce in a pure form, but it's a significant investment.
It's really nice, simple stuff. Yeah. Well done.
He's added a lot of value and would appear to be helping to convert at better rates as well.
Okay, so that's the winner.
It was good to see the different sort of ideas and interactions about how businesses use social media, and it's I've seen a lot of sort of award entries, and I thought, yeah, this looks very good, and this is slightly less. But when you discuss it in a team of like-minded people with different sort of ideas, you think, yeah, actually, I should change my opinion on this and that. So, yeah, I found it very useful.
As the day draws to a close, the judges face their toughest decision. Of the dozens of potential candidates they've looked at today, who will win the Chairman's Award?
Their business is inherently social because of promotions, promoting lots of other people, but is that necessarily groundbreaking in their sector? My only thing is, it's a bit quirky, it's a bit odd. It's not necessarily groundbreaking, but what it seems to be doing is creating a huge amount of loyalty to them.
What he hasn't proved is that those hardcore social media types have recruited other people in, that you know, friends of friends of friends. But I would guess that's what's happening.
There's so much potential now that they've got this audience. You know, lots of more established business would beg, borrow and steal to have such an army of advocates that they do, with the audience potential that they do. And it would be really interesting to see how they use that going forward commercially, like how they make it.
And it's the only people who've got no agency. It is purely around themselves.
Again, I know an awful lot more than is in that paper, and they do deserve it because.
I think awards like this are really important because of the changing landscape of social media and the way social media actually is replacing what we used to term the internet, you know, in terms of websites and the way in which we communicate. And I think it recognises the people that are leading innovation, and I think it also it encourages people to realise that social media is actually something that's a very hard-nosed tool for business and actually is doing a lot of incredibly innovative stuff.
I totally support the idea of whether it's 500 or 5 grand. You know, they've got a hugely loyal following. You know,
it shows anyone can give it a go.
With judging complete, attention now moves to the Social Buzz Awards ceremony itself. The judges have made their choices, and now the nominees face an anxious wait until December to find out if they'll be successful at Wembley Stadium.